I often ask myself, why did I move to Canada? And on the surface level, I would say that I wanted better opportunities, education, growth, new experiences. But deep down, if I'm being honest, I was running from the version of life that already felt decided for me. I wanted to make my own decisions, be my own person, and live the life that I built on my terms. And I wanted to be successful and make my parents proud. But I never took a minute to reflect on what does success actually mean to me. And because I hadn't done that, in my young mind, it meant higher studies, high salaries, living in expensive cities. And you know what? I put my mind to it and I actually achieved all of that. So I was in Thunderbird for 2 years, studying full time and working part time at Walmart. And my only goal for those 2 years was learn and earn. I didn't realize that this learn and earn idea is going to become my personality. And that's what I have done so far in 8 years. I am so proud of the life that I have built, but if I reflect and look back, my whole identity was what I learned and what I earned. So I graduated from college in Canada. I moved to Waterloo, Ontario, but COVID hit. So this time I didn't have to go to college. I didn't have any work. I had no social life. And I just was in my this tiny room thinking, what am I gonna do for the job? I started doing what I do really best. Learn. I started taking online courses on different areas of software development. I started learning new development languages, database related things, data analysis, business analysis, machine learning, AI, Python, R, you name it. I would have spent that much time learning and taking courses, which was helpful, but my body was so full of cortisol and I didn't realize at that point that I am just pushing myself and without taking care of my body. But all in all, this girl got her first job. I got my first job and I moved to Halifax. I have so many beautiful memories of my time in Nova Scotia because that chapter connected me to the Canadian culture, and I lived with this retired lady and she is an angel. It was such an amazing time. I celebrated my first Thanksgiving with her. I celebrated Christmas and took pictures, and it just felt like I am, in this new country, new experiences, and that felt really nice. But I started doing that job, and after a couple of months, it started to feel like I want more. Because mind you, this is the first time I was getting a really good paycheck, okay? It Now that I think it wasn't that that much money, but still it was my first paycheck and it felt like, okay, I want more money. So what did this girl do? Started applying for other jobs, and obviously no one was gonna hire me just because I applied for a job. So I started going back to this learn phase and I started learning more. I started taking more courses and no fun, but I got another job. I worked there for another year, and again, something in me was telling me that I just want another job. I just want more money. And then I felt like I want to be product manager. Now, I was living in Halifax in that room, and then if you look at that room, one of the wall was covered with this documents, just hung up on the wall, and the flow charts on how to become a product manager. There's like product manager and then different areas and different skills you need to become a product manager, and then I would take courses on each of these areas. Each area would have separate flowchart and separate document posted on my wall explaining how to learn that skill. After doing all of that studying, I applied for jobs and I got one in Vancouver. It wasn't necessarily product management, but it was related to product ownership. And I loved every bit of it. I had such an amazing time working for that company, and I again thought that I want more. I wasn't satisfied, and I did something that I had never done before. I quit that job. with minimum savings. I was so confident. Oh my God, I missed that version of myself who was so confident and was so sure of herself that she can do better. And I did. I got another job, and that's not the point, but this is just was getting out of hand. Me always running and running. Every 2 years, I would feel that I wanna get another job, new city, new friends. I just wanna change my life, and I didn't know that that is not healthy. All of this time, I was pushing myself without taking care of my body. I never knew what a calm and regulated nervous system feels like because I was always on high on cortisol and always doing the next thing. Logical next step this time was same as before. Go back to the learning space, learn new stuff, get certified, keep applying for jobs. But this time it was different. I was living in North Vancouver, one bedroom apartment. I had so much furniture and I couldn't afford to pay rent. I had minimum savings, so I gave away all of my furniture and I moved to Vancouver Island. Initially, I moved to Nanaimo, but I didn't like Nanaimo that much because I had no car, so everything was just so spread out. Then, after a week or 2 weeks, I moved to Victoria, and Victoria actually changed my life. Moving to Victoria actually broke me first. New city, new job, living in that basement with no sunlight, which actually got flooded, and I had to find another apartment in a week, which was on a whole lot of a thing. But all in all, I gained 10 kgs. I felt so uncomfortable in my body. I didn't sleep well. I ordered food so much, like every single day. My breakfast would be Starbucks chai latte. I know. Lunch would be something Subway or some sort of like burger. Dinner would be something from Indian restaurant. It was going out of hand and I felt so inflamed. My face was so balloon like. My I lost my periods. My the whole thing was just too much and I broke down.
But luckily, something changed in 2025. I realized that I came to Canada to live and not just to survive.
So before 2025, I never really reflected and asked myself what makes me happy, what brings me joy, what makes me feel emotionally safe and content. I was always push myself and focus on the next goal, focus on the next chapter, make more money, and obviously that wasn't working. After I moved into this apartment, I started going to the gym. I started focusing on my nutrition, my sleeping habit, and I started socializing more. I met so many amazing people in 2025 and I let my hair grow. Yes, because anytime anything happens, my first course of action is cut my hair, delete all of the pictures, and just start fresh, move on. That was my mentality. I never felt the stability, I always felt that if I stay somewhere for longer than a year or two, I'm gonna feel trapped. But this is the first time in my life where I wanted stability, and Victoria did give me that. And I met so many amazing girls, and I learned so much from them because their life was not just focused on what they learn and what they earn. They had other areas of their lives that they were focusing on. They had hobbies. I got to see that it's okay to spend money on yourself. It's okay to do the things that you want to do. It's okay to not have your entire identity and personality focused on what you learn and what you earn. It's okay to slow down. It's okay to be vulnerable. And things from everywhere, my habits, my socializing with these amazing females, and all the other things behind the scenes made me feel so soft and tender. It felt like I remembered my softness and Now I have just so much compassion for every single human being, especially for myself. I feel that my heart has expanded so much, and have I have so much love that I want to give to the world. It's like it's overflowing. I see these construction workers, working day and night, and then I just like feel so, I like admire them, and I feel like they are working so hard, and the old version of me would not have slowed down enough to notice them, but this new version of me felt that I want to do something for them, and I was so nervous, but I got snacks like chocolates and donuts, and then I gave it to them, special like handwritten note, and it made me feel so much joy. This is the first time in my life where I was craving stability, and by the end of 2025 I had the job that I liked, I had good friend circles, I was confident in my body, and my routine was set, and I let my hair grow, get the hair color, so many things, and I finally felt that I want to live intentionally and not just focus on the work. And the first time I didn't apply for jobs, and I was just enjoying other areas of life. The first time that I feel stable and girly and soft, and where I just want to slow down and take care of myself, and give to the world and give to the loved ones, I lost my job. I got laid off. Yes. Now I know that I want to live life that is intentional. I want to have peace. I felt this emotional safety for the first time, and I just want to feel that way the best that I can. I want to have more regulated nervous system. I don't want to just push and push. I don't want to just like, do this, do that. I just want to relax, and I want to love more. I want to just be this version of myself who is so soft in a good way. In the next video, I'm going to talk all about how I got laid off and what am I going to do next. And then I'm going to focus on who am I without survival mode. And I'm going to turn 30 in 2 months. So what do I want to be in my 30s? What do I want to do? And what kind of life I want to have? I feel grateful that I now have enough time and resources to focus on these questions. Okay, I'm gonna document these questions and so much more. So if you're interested, please subscribe to my channel and like, share, comment, and hope to see you in the next video.